Your 24-hour news source is Central New York 9. Now, the news team that's making a difference. Rod Wood, Carrie Lazarus, Dan Cummings, meteorologist Dave Eichhorn, and Doug Logan with sports. This is 9 News.
Rabies concern rising tonight after the discovery of a rabid fox on this farm south of Syracuse. Good evening, everyone. If you haven't had your dog or cat vaccinated against rabies, here's proof you can't wait any longer.
The Onondaga County Health Department confirms a rabid raccoon has been found in the town of Clay, the farthest point north so far. No one came in close contact with the animal.
But livestock could have been bitten by a rabid fox found and killed in Pompey. The fox was discovered here at this horse farm on Windy Hill Lane. Owners say the fox ran into the barn and started chasing a horse in a paddock. They don't know whether the fox bit any of the animals, but neighbors are concerned. Carl Dennis owns a nearby farm.
They wanted us up there cutting the hay right away so they can see the fields all clear around their house where their cats and dogs roam, and hopefully preventing their animals from tangling up with a rabid raccoon or a fox.
Health officials say they are not surprised about the epidemic crossing over to other species, but to date, 44 cases of rabid animals have been confirmed in Onondaga County. The South Onondaga Fire Department will hold a rabies clinic on Monday, July 19th. Also, a special clinic has been added for the Burnett Park Zoo on Tuesday, July 27th. Politics now. The pair of Democrats hoping to become Syracuse's next mayor squared off for the first time today.
State Assemblyman Joe Nicoletti and Syracuse School Board member Joe Fahey went face-to-face on our Newsmakers program. Cheryl Nathans shows us how the debate sparked a duel over campaign contributions.
The primary problem Joe Fahey has with his primary opponent centers on who's providing some of the money for Joe Nicoletti's campaign. Area developers have contributed big bucks, the largest contributions coming from the most successful developers. Pioneer Development Company head Michael Falcone and Pyramid Company's chief Robert Conjal.
I'm suggesting that there's an appearance there that I think that either one of these two companies will have an unfair advantage and perhaps unfair access to an administration that is funded at that level.
You seem to be saying that Joe Nicoletti can be bought by these two people, by these two companies.
I think there's a perception of it.
Nicoletti's response to all this? That Fahey is talking out of both sides of his mouth.
Originally, you said you weren't going to take any money from people that were involved, that have an immense stake in this community. Then you said you meant just Pioneer and Pyramid. Now I see your financial support report. You have an $8,000 donation from a major law firm where I believe at least one of the partners is a representative of some of the oil tanks that are fighting to stay in Oil City.
The candidates do stand together on what will become a new policy at Syracuse City Hall if either of them gets there. It's that all department heads are going to have to call the city of Syracuse home. One department head in particular, Police Chief Frank Sardino, has been criticized in some corners for living outside the city. Let me get this right. If either of you want to retain Chief Sardino, you will say to him, if you want to stay on this job, you must move into the city of Syracuse.
I have no hesitation in saying that.
And you?
I have no hesitation.
Sardino is working hard to restore racial harmony in the city after police and Landmark Theater concert-goers clashed back in March. Joe Fahey believes one of the ways incidents like that can be avoided is to beef up community policing efforts.
It's important not only for the police to know that, it's important for the police to know on a regular, daily basis the people whose lives and safety they're responsible for. And I think when you get to know people in that fashion, you don't have incidents like you had at the Landmark or anywhere else.
Joe Nicoletti agrees police need to work closer with minority communities, but feels the real key to coming together is a mayor who offers opportunities to everyone.
Mayors to have a relationship with minority communities across the city, and I do. Look at our campaign structure and you will see it. Second thing is I think you have to have an aggressive minority recruitment program, and I will.
And of course the candidates talked about the issue that's so very important to all of us, jobs. How to bring more of them to Syracuse, how to keep the ones we already have. Joe Nicoletti says if he's elected mayor, he'll very aggressively go after state and federal funds, and will talk more consolidation with Onondaga County. Joe Fahey says he'll take advantage of local people power, looking to create for Syracuse a more self-sufficient economy. Once again, the Democrats made their first joint appearance on our Newsmakers program. The show airs twice this weekend, tomorrow morning at 6:30 and again on Sunday morning at 7:30. And we had so much ground to cover. It's a half-hour show, Newsmakers, as you know, so I asked them to stay for another half hour. So not only this weekend, but the weekend after, we'll be hearing from the Democratic candidates for mayor.
A couple of lively Democrats. What about the other side of the aisle, the Republican? One Republican, right?
One Republican now. There's not going to be a Republican primary. Terry Cameron had said that she was hoping to challenge Roy Bernardi, but I just got off the phone with her, and she said, in fact, she did not get the needed number of signatures on her petitions, so she will not be in a Republican primary. But she does hope to run as an independent. She needs 1,500 signatures to do that. She says she's going to try and get them. So the only Republican candidate right now is Roy Bernardi. He will face either Joe Fahey or Joe Nicoletti.
And maybe Terry Cameron.
Right.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Sure.
A Syracuse Common Councilor who wants to dig up the old Erie Canal downtown is digging for ways to fund his dream. Lawmaker Rick Guy wants to reopen a section of the canal in Clinton Square, fill it with water from Onondaga Creek, and create a park. The question now is the cost.
We want to avoid any local funding to the extent possible, because we can't afford it. What we need now is more police officers, not a new canal. I understand that. But just because we're having economically hard times doesn't mean we forego developments that could have a significant return on sweat equity investment.
Guy says he'll pull the plug on the whole idea if he can't find the money. Goldberg's Furniture has had a downtown store since the time Syracuse still had an Erie Canal, but now downtown's last furniture store is closed after 83 years in the city center. The owners say what owners of other businesses have said, people just stopped coming. Goldberg's continues to do a thriving business, though, at suburban stores. And Syracuse School Superintendent Dr. Henry Williams could be folding his tent soon to run a school system that interviewed him before. The Board of Education in Little Rock, Arkansas voted yesterday to fly Williams south for his second interview there in 14 months and try to persuade him to take the superintendency. Last time, Dr. Williams apparently couldn't get together with Little Rock on salary terms, but the man who got the job has left after only a year. So a new job in Arkansas is apparently Williams to turn down. We'll let you know what happens. The town of Camillus is in mourning with news of the death of their county legislator. Veteran lawmaker James Salinger died today at Krauss-Irving Memorial Hospital after a short illness. He was 72. Salinger, who was in his 13th term on the legislature, had announced 2 weeks ago he would not seek re-election for health reasons. A family member says Salinger was a dedicated lawmaker who had a love affair with Camillus. He's survived by his wife Dolores and 7 children. Services will be held Monday morning at Holy Family Church in Fairmount. Dan?
In tonight's first look at world and national news, Mother Nature wins another battle in the Midwest. Despite all efforts to sandbag this week, the Mississippi broke through the levee that protected the homes and businesses of St. Charles, Missouri. In Portage-de-Sioux, Missouri, residents now live on an island. The National Guard has pulled out a powerful weapon in the flood fight now.
Whenever they free-launch them off the back of the truck, it folds out into, looks like a big W, and then lays down flat, and then it's got a roadway to drive on, and it's pretty neat to watch.
There is no other way in or out of town. In Des Moines, a much appreciated thanks after Hurricane Andrew. A group of Iowa residents brought relief supplies to Florida. Now those people are returning the favor with shipments of hundreds of gallons of bottled water. The water is well received in a city where fresh drinking water is very rare. 8 neo-Nazis are under arrest in Los Angeles tonight, accused of plotting to trigger a race war by bombing a black church and murdering Rodney King. The FBI says the white supremacists were going to time their attacks for the sentencing of the policeman found guilty in the King beating. Other possible assassination targets, Nation of Islam minister Louis Farrakhan and New York activist, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Two things in light of, suppose there wasn't an undercover operation here. Suppose some of this or all of this was initiated. Would the results have come out with a race war? I think we need to deal with the underlying factor that these people were shrewd enough to try to play between our differences that would have killed a lot of people on both sides.
Sharpton also said he's sorry that he had to hear about this murder plot from a reporter instead of getting official notice from the FBI. It was not a good day to close the week on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials closed off almost 23 points on volume of nearly 263 million shares on the New York Stock Exchange. Among stocks of local interest, AT&T was down 3/4, Bristol-Myers Squibb down 7/8 today, Chrysler down 7/8, Cooper down 1/4. Faze was unchanged, GE gained 1 1/8, Martin Marietta up 1/8. NIMO down 1/8. Oneida Limited was up 1/4, and UTC was down 1 1/2. Do you or somebody you know have trouble sleeping at night?
Well, if you do, you have plenty of company, and there are some things you should know before you buy nighttime pain relievers. Rod has the story in tonight's Consumer Report.
Maureen and Dan, I don't have this problem, but a lot of folks do. Drug companies claim to have a new kind of relief for the millions of people who have trouble sleeping. But Consumer Reports cautions the new nighttime pain remedies are neither new nor necessary. Many of the big names in pain medication are pushing their new nighttime formulas.
New aspirin-free Anacin PM with a powerful pain reliever plus a gentle ingredient to help you sleep.
There's aspirin-free Anacin PM, Tylenol PM, as well as Excedrin PM, Midol PM, and Bufferin aspirin-free nighttime. All have the same active ingredients, acetaminophen and diphenhydramine.
Acetaminophen is the same old pain reliever that's used in Tylenol and other over-the-counter pain relievers. Diphenhydramine is really an antihistamine, and it's used for its side effect of drowsiness in Sominex and other sleeping aids that are sold over the counter.
It's a classic case of drug companies bundling old ingredients together so they look like something new. But Consumer Reports says don't take them.
We don't recommend these combination sleeping aids and pain relievers. If you're really having trouble sleeping, you should see your physician. And if it's aches and pains that are keeping you awake at night, taking plain store-brand acetaminophen should do the trick and enable you to sleep.
You'll save money, too. Store-brand acetaminophen costs a lot less than the new PM pain pills. In fact, store-brand acetaminophen costs about 4 cents a dose. The new PM pain pills cost as much as 50 cents a dose. If you'd like more information, write me in care of Consumer Reports, WIXT, 5904 Bridge Street, East Syracuse, 13057. Please send along a self-addressed stamped envelope. So, store-brand acetaminophen is the route to go.
And it's good that Consumer Reports help sort that stuff out, because with all that stuff on the shelves, you never know unless they help you.
We can save the folks money who suffer from insomnia.
How about Monday night, Rod?
Well, we're going to be talking about insurance. Consumer Reports has just done a very lengthy study, and we'll tell you what they found out here and how it can save you money. That's Monday night at 5:30.
Okay. Thanks, Rod. Well, they put up with a boot camp for young criminals, but they're upset now that this is becoming a prison. I'll report on the change and how the neighbors feel around central New York.
And I'm Rick Gary. Truck drivers from all over New York State will be competing this weekend in a truck rodeo. And that's fuel for my story tonight on Around Town.
Pitching directly into
Coming up in sports, defending champion Nick Faldo fired a course record today and has taken the lead in the British Open. Doug will have the latest.
We've had 2 perfect summer days in a row and 2 more yet to come.
Hi, Tom Park back again for Billy Fusillo and all the great folks here at the Fusillo Auto Mall, where it's our summer sell down. 93s are still coming in. 94s are right around the corner. We're running out of room here at the Auto Mall, and we've got to mark them down to move them out. I want to show you how we're selling new cars, because Billy Fusillo has just purchased 20 90th Anniversary Edition Buick LeSabres with automatic V6, power windows, power locks, tilt, cruise, all that Buick luxury for only $18,995 for a new 93. And again, not 1 or 2, 20 to choose from right now during the summer sell down. Your choice at only $18,995. You know, that's a great reason why folks will drive hundreds of miles right here to the Fusillo Auto Mall. You can choose from 11 different franchises in one convenient location. We're open every night until 8 o'clock. You don't have to wait for the weekend, because every day we're open until 8 o'clock for your shopping convenience with a tremendous selection of cars, trucks, and vans. Don't forget, these are brand new 93 90th Anniversary LeSabres, only $18,995 right now at the Fusillo Auto Mall.
Sorry. The New York State Lotto jackpot is now $10 million. That's $10 million. Thank you.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Hey, everybody, Oprah's on. Across the country, you're all in the know. Everybody's watching their favorite show. Oprah's on. Oprah's on. Oprah's on. When it's 4 o'clock, just tell them you're gone. Get to your bed, Oprah's on.
Oprah's On. Weekdays at 4 on Central New York 9.